Hello, hello. Thank you very much for joining us, Mohammed. As we were just saying before you come on, you're the number one ranked amateur bantamweight in the country. You're 11-0 at the moment. Recently in November, you just come back from IMMAF, where you were successful out there in a gold medal. You're a very well-spoken about prospect in the UK at the moment. So we obviously wanted to get you on and chat about IMMAF and just talk about your career to date so far. So I guess we'll start off at IMMAF and then we'll work our way back from there. So just tell us, first of all, what the experience was like out there back in November, getting to compete in IMMAF and ultimately winning the golds.
Yeah, experience was great. You know, the one problem was when I arrived to airport, I had to wait 13 hours in airport when I arrived there because my British document is not full yet.
Yeah.
So I had to wait there 13 hours till I messaged the Prince Sheikh of Bahrain, as we contacted before on Instagram, and I actually had a ticket back to UK deportation at 3 p.m. Well, like 2 hours before they take me out of airport.
Yeah.
So I had the visa, like UK MMA team, they did visa for me, but they didn't understand what was going on with my documents. But when I'm out of airport, it was crazy. Like 1 week making weight, fighting every day. First fight I had a Russian guy from Dagestan. That's where I came from.
Yeah.
All wrestlers and trained since young. And you know, actually, like back in Dagestan, people a lot want to see this fight. It was like people say, if I win this fight, it means like I'm in the final, because this guy's like 2 times a Russian sambo champion, 1 time world champion, and most people maybe want to see me lose because I actually didn't have any MMA fights in Russia. So when I came to UK and start winning, they was saying he gone over that it's easier in UK than Russia, you know. That's what they were saying. It's you beating easy guys, come to Russia, taste yourself. So this guy was first guy at IMMAF's World Championship. So I beat him in 47 seconds first round. And
How nice was that victory for you then? Because I guess that's you almost getting the opportunity to prove to them that you aren't here fighting easy guys, and just showing, I guess, how good you are to the people back home in Russia, Dagestan. So did that victory feel? Was that one of your best victories?
Do you know, for me, it was more important than winning gold medal. This fight was for me like more important because like in Dagestan, after I beat this guy, everybody's saying you in the final, this guy in the final already. So I had next guy from Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is known as boxing because Triple G, Golovkin from there, you know, is like no one knows as boxing. You know, Pankration, there's a popular in Kazakhstan. So this guy was tough. I think he beat first fight Azerbaijani guy by TKO, and so he had a easy fight first, like easy, like no decision. So I beat this guy unanimous decision. Then I had Mexican guy who beat Northern Ireland by triangle choke. I beat Mexican by unanimous decision. And then we had rest on Friday. We watched Brave FC. Brave FC was on different level. It was a good show. And Friday we had a rest, so my weight gone up, and so next day I have to cut weight again in the mornings. As weigh-ins, every day weigh-ins was 6 a.m., 6 till 8 a.m. and fights. My fights always was 11 o'clock, so I have to weigh in at 6 every day.
How difficult was it over the week, just having to obviously fight so much over the week, but not only that, make that weight? Was that hardening the body?
It was hard, but you know the thing is, help is good weather over there. They say it's winter, but it was 35 degrees over there.
Well, you're used to UK weather now, so their winter's their summer, so I guess that's not so bad. Just something you said at the start when you went over to the IMMAF show. How worried were you that you were actually not going to be able to compete out there?
Sorry?
When you went out to IMMAF, obviously you had the issue at the start with your visa. How worried were you that you weren't going to be able to compete?
Do you know, because I was at airport, I was worrying about my weight because, when you're sitting in airport, actually I couldn't exchange my money because to exchange your money in airports is, I think it's most conscious new rules. Like you have to show them passport. So I tried to show the UK driving license and they didn't accept it because the borders took my passport away. And I couldn't exchange to even buy the drink, buy anything. So my weight gone down. So when I came out of airport, I started eating crazy, and my weight goes like up straight away. And I think it's mentally, if you mentally focused coming for the gold, I spent a lot of money to go there. I'm not going there just to see the Bahrain or just to communicate. They say my name and I walk off. I'm not going there just to show myself there. I'm coming for gold. Any tournament I'm coming like for the win. Doesn't matter who in front of me. So I think it's more mentally. Airport effects, all this. And in the final, I had a Japanese guy. He was 9-1 before me. He Oceanic last year. No, 2018 Oceanic gold medalist. Japanese guy, and I beat him unanimous decision. I didn't lose any rounds actually at the World Championships.
So it was almost, apart from the issues with the visa, the IMMAF went probably as well as it could have went for you, would you say?
Yeah, only visa issues, that's it. Everything was good.
And overall, going out to, and this is maybe a question as well, if any other amateurs are watching and get the opportunity, how much of a learning experience was IMMAF for you? Do you feel you came back from that as a better fighter?
Yes, 100%. After World Championships, have 4 fights in 5 days, whereas in UK you maybe have 3 fights in 1 year.
Yeah.
Maybe like this, sometimes people have 2 fights in 1 year. You're coming back more confident and you're ready to go to pro. 11-0 for me, it's good, but I want some losses too in my amateur career. I actually messaged Nigel Burgess yesterday to go to Thailand for the Asian Open Senior Championships. I want to show myself. I said to him, I believe I win senior level, and he said it's gonna cost a lot, but I've got good people behind me who support me to go to Thailand.
Just from what you said there, it seems like you are, not all fighters do this, but it seems like you're really approaching your amateur career as one massive learning experience, and you want to learn as much as you can before turning pro, because sometimes it feels like amateurs almost rush to go pro. It seems like you're approaching it almost with probably the right mindset. And with regards to pro, is that something you're not even thinking about at the moment?
I believe, in a pro you can't make, like people make record 8-0, fight some Portuguese guys, Brazilian, go make a record. But soon as you go professional, it's not like part-time. You have to be 100% in every morning session, every night session. Injury, you have to have very strong team. You should have documents ready to go to America. So my documents not ready to go to America. That's the main problem. I think they gave me visa, but America don't like Russian guys. So.
Well, we've seen a bit of a conclusion with Khabib and stuff like that today. So all that finished up today.
$500,000, yeah.
$500,000, and I believe his suspension will be reduced if he helps with an anti-bullying campaign.
Yeah.
So
the jump cost a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, that is a very expensive jump. $500,000, goodness gracious me.
Yeah.
But there you go. So I just want to actually maybe go back a wee bit now with you. Just tell us when you first come over to the UK, and tell us how long you've actually been training mixed martial arts. From what age did you start?
I came 2012 in UK, when the Olympic Games started in July, and then I started competing 2013. Not just competing, just start wrestling here. But I've been doing back in Dagestan, but in Dagestan is big corruption. It's like if it doesn't matter how good you are, you're number one all the way. You still have to give money to perform. To even at Russian championships, never mind like European or World Championships. Whereas in UK, you're number one in UK, you go to World Championships, you go to European Championships, and and you have to pay them. Well, I started wrestling here in Wigan where I lived. I moved to Manchester now. Start wrestling, competing in wrestling, beating guys. Start competing in jiu-jitsu, and then I start beating guys who competed in MMA. You know, beating them in jiu-jitsu, and I feel the strength, and I feel what's the main problem in UK. I think main problem is the I think some athletes, half-time athletes, you know, drinking, competing, training. This is no athletes, you know. I don't believe they're athletes. That's why I moved to MMA, and in 2015 I had my debut, Shinobi, and then I think it's just mentally I beat guys because I never in my life I never drank, I never smoked, and I think I go in the cage and I have this one step over them.
So one other thing I would like to ask you about is obviously you've moved over to the UK. Just culturally, how difficult was that change from Dagestan to the UK? Because obviously it's a completely different culture. Was that something you had to adapt to, and do you feel that you've now sort of adapted to the culture over here?
You know, for first year it was hard for me. First year I didn't speak English. I came to school. You know, my friends was like most from different countries who didn't speak English too, and we like talk with the languages like this, you know. But then I start come out of the circle, so I mixed with English, because in England, if you live in England, you have to mix with English culture. You understand the English culture, you know. And I try to learn English every day coming back from school. Try to learn English, and my English still bad, but not bad. Okay, you know, but I still want to be in the English style. You know what I mean? Like, because I represent England, I have to know the culture.
Yeah.
I have to be friends with everybody. You know, I don't have this Russian guy and this English in like, for example, in the gym, everybody's same for me.
Yeah, and to be fair, with regards to your English is probably better than mine, so you're doing something right.
Is it hard to understand, Mohammed?
Little bit accent, you know.
I am trying. Believe me, I'm
Is
really
the Scottish, right?
Scottish, yes.
But I have a couple of friends Scottish. I don't understand them too.
Yeah. Well, at least it's even with all the Scottish. It's a problem most Scottish people have, but
yeah.
Hey ho. I also wanted to find out. Tell us a wee bit about the gym you train at, your head coach, and just who your main training partners are.
My wrestling coach is Oleg Druzhinets. He's half Ukrainian, half Russian. He's coaching in the Salford Academy, which is 10 minutes from my house. And my head coach MMA is Dean Garnett and Phil Turner. Originally, back in the days, you know, I started at Carbon Wigan, and then I moved to Carbon Liverpool. Not moved, but I was traveling in the morning to Carbon Liverpool and Carbon Wigan at night times, and then you know, it's, you know, sometimes you have changes in the life. So I moved to Manchester to Salford, and I train here in Manchester in nighttime and in Liverpool in the morning. So I travel every day. And
is that something then? So you just getting those different experiences at different gyms. Do you feel that is helping you grow as a fighter?
I think it does. You know, for Aspire team is you know, they have psychologists. They have a cryo inside the gym. They have with BJJ coach, boxing coach, jiu-jitsu coach, you know, and lots of my weight guys, my partners like Aaron Robinson, like Marlon Jones, Lee McCracken, you know, and whereas in Manchester they have my weight guys as well, and people helping me too. Charlie Bowling, Amir Kassimi, you know.
Yeah. And with regards to competing going forward, excuse me, is there any shows you would quite like to feature on in the UK? Because obviously we know we've got Cage Warriors Academy shows and stuff like that. Is there anywhere in particular you would like to compete?
I was supposed to fight 1st of December for bantamweight title Cage Warriors. Like, it was 2 weeks after I come back from Worlds. Yeah. Actually, before the World Championships, 2 weeks, I injured my ankle. I couldn't even walk. But the thing is, I spent a lot of time to preparing. I was in Ukraine for 1 month. 1 month in Ukraine in the summertime. We stayed in the mountains. There was no internet, nothing. It was crazy condition. It was 1 month in the mountain, running, training every day, and I come back to England, and then competing some jiu-jitsu wrestling comps. I went to European wrestling championships in Italy after that. But you know, when you spend so much time and you spend about £1,500 for your world championships to go to Bahrain, and you have ankle problem, then you think I'm going there. I sprayed every fight, spray my ankle and fight like this. All my teammates knows. But for the Cage Warriors, I have to pull out. It was 2 weeks. 2 weeks notice. Like I had to pull out.
Is that Cage? Sorry, on you go, Chris. On you go.
Just going to ask. Speaking of Cage Warriors, initially you were slated to be one of the fighters in the tournament they had earlier on last year. I think it was an 8-man tournament they put on. I was just wondering what happened with that.
It was crazy. They put my picture. They said they tagged me. They used my name to promote. Everybody like commenting, and they said we send them contract. But when I said to Jack Mason, I'm ready to sign contract, he said there's no space left. Well, I was like too late for it. I didn't understand this actually, but I was ready. Who won it? I think Jack Eglin won it, or Lee Mitchell. Who won 8-man tournament?
I think didn't Eglin get beaten in the final
by Lee Mitchell, right?
Oh no, that was the flyweight tournament. That was going back a bit further. I thought you meant the one more recently, that finished at Cage Warriors 100. I think Jack Eglin lost the
to Nathan Fletcher. Final. Yes, he lost to Nathan Fletcher.
Yes,
first round choke.
Choke.
But Nathan Fletcher, I've wrestled against Nathan Fletcher in British Championships and in Scotland there was Thrice Open. I beat twice Nathan Fletcher in wrestling, but he win MMA fights by wrestling. So if Cage Warriors actually put this fight against me, it's no problem for me,
See, you obviously pay attention to the guys that are round about you in your weight class. Is there anyone you haven't fought yet that you would really like to share the cage with and test yourself against?
It's in UK it's hard to find match for me. It's hard. I have to. That's why IMMAF is best to get experience going. But anybody, it doesn't matter for me. Lose, win. This amateur 11-0. It doesn't make 11-5, 11-6. It doesn't make difference. The main importance I want concentrate on professional. Professional, my record gonna be 0 all the way. I believe this. But amateur, I want to lose. That's why I asked yesterday Nigel. He maybe think I'm crazy, but he know I'm crazy anyway. But I want senior level. Senior level Asian Open, then senior level Bahrain. I want to do it this year, and I understand. I'm 18. Maybe then I'll accept. But I will ask. My main thing is ask. I want senior level.
Yeah. How demoralising would that be for the other guys though? A person born in this millennium going in and ruining them. That would just be heartbreaking.
What's this, sorry?
So you'd be the first person born in this millennium to go in and win a senior title. And that would be heartbreaking because you were born in 2000, weren't you?
Yeah.
You imagine that? That's just one of those mental things that people would really struggle with. Because 2000, I was 22 in 2000. I remember the year that you were born. But for the guys who are competing, coming up against someone who's still so young, it would be heartbreaking. Could I ask you another question actually? Because obviously, we're linked on Facebook, we're linked on Twitter. We have been for a few years now. You chat quite a lot with Ali Abdelaziz.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering what your relationship is with him.
Our relationship is good. In the future, we spoke. In the future, as soon as I go to professional, we can work together. But at the moment, I don't need manager. I had a lot of people message me. When you have name, a lot of people want to be around you. Why do you not message guys who like 3 and 2, who don't have money, who have to work, the message, of course, a lot of people gonna message me asking for management. They want this money, percentage. There's not many loyal people who tomorrow, if your injury happens, they're not gonna come and feed you. You know what I mean? But the management is important, but not for me at the moment because I find myself sponsor. I can't speak to any promotion myself. I'm for me. Myself manager, But in the future, I understand you need a manager, like when you're getting like maybe 18 or 9 in UFC, maybe, because the paperwork I don't understand, the paperwork, the only paperwork you need manager for, I think.
So where would you see yourself turning pro then? Because you said you're looking to sort out your US visa, which I think is a really sensible way of going.
Yeah.
Obviously Ali has. It seems to me that every one of Ali's guys just gets title shots in the UFC. The guy has got superb links, but he's obviously he's got PFA. Is that a route that you'd be interested in going down, or would you want to?
PFA or PFL?
PFL, sorry. PFL,
Yeah.
sorry. Is that a route you'd be interested in going down, or would you be interested in working your way through the UK ranks first of all before looking at the international scene?
PFL is senior. It's not just senior level. The people like 30s, 28, 30 people age competing for $1 million, right?
Yeah.
I think little bit maybe too early. I think if they give me this year, I won't work on my boxing this year, and next year I believe I can't even fight. Do you know Demetrius Johnson? I was watching Demetrius Johnson for last 2 years, maybe every weekend. I believe I know his full game. I believe I can beat Demetrius Johnson. I believe I can beat Demetrius Johnson.
Who's over in ONE FC at the moment?
He's in ONE FC. That's good. It's easy to get to there.
Which ONE FC, I've got to say, I mean, if you look at their numbers, ONE FC, although a lot of people in the UK may not know them, ONE FC in Asia are massive. And their viewing figures are insane, and they seem like a great promotion, especially for the lighter weights. And just with regards to the money in the PFL, I believe Sean O'Connell won over there, won $1 million, then retired.
Yeah.
So yes, and I've got to say, just through the short time I've spoke to you, for an 18-year-old, you seem to have a very, very, very sensible and screwed on head, and you seem to know where you're going in the future.
Thank you.
And that is one thing you're saying there about Demetrius Johnson. Is that sort of someone you aspire to compete against? It, and obviously you do believe you can beat him.
I don't look up to him, but I believe because he's undefeated. Not undefeated. He was 10 times UFC champion, but that's why I was looking. When you're looking up to the best, then when you're looking a little bit down, it's a bit different mentality,
Is there also something to be said about when you look at Demetrius Johnson, about the way he carries himself as a fighter? Because as we know, trash talking is a big thing these days. A lot of fighters are going that route, which I'm assuming is not a route you would go down, or would you?
Sometimes I talk, but do you know the main thing? You have to back it up. If you don't back it up once, you don't back up twice. Man have to when man say something, you have to back it up. Man say, man do it. Or you lose your trust in a reputation area, because where I come from, and people in UK actually, is where good, guys build up, like from good family. They understand this, and if you say, you have to back it up. If you don't back it up, you lose your trust. If you lose your trust, you can't buy trust. I think.
So would it be fair to say then that you would quite enjoy if you're competing against someone, or if you're matched and there's a bit of back and forth between you and your opponent? Does that get you maybe a bit more fired up for the fight? And
I would say, but if I lose, I have to shoot up and train. I can't talk after this anymore. I can't. I have to get on back winning streak. But I will talk when the time comes.
When the time comes. So you're ready for that. What I'd like to do now is, Katie or Chris, is there any questions coming in from people watching?
Is people watching, yeah?
Yeah, people watching, yeah.
I can't say this,
We are
do you
live.
Want to Chris, or do you want me to jump on?
Go on, you far away.
We've got one from Chris Gadden, who says, a question for the future champ. Mo, can you help explain the subtle differences between the American style of wrestling we see in the UFC and the Dagestani style that you have?
I think in USA is more they work on physically, whereas in Dagestan they more work on technically. More technique and more technique and tactics. Whereas in USA, mentally and physically. Well, when there's 50-50 match and the last 15 seconds, I think America can take over, because Americans, like, physically and mentally, they go for it, you know. That's what I believe.
Good. And then, who is the best wrestler in the world?
I think it's Abdulrashid Sadullayev.
Awesome.
Who would you say is the best wrestler in MMA?
In MMA, I think Rustam Khabilov.
Okay.
Rustam Khabilov.
That's interesting. I think a lot of people maybe would have expected
Khabib,
yeah.
He's good control game. He's good wrestler. He's more. I don't think if it's freestyle wrestling, Khabib not that level, but his pressure on the ground and judo, you know, from the clinch is on the best.
Let me ask you a question then about a potential matchup that I don't know if we will ever see it, but obviously an American wrestler who's signed to the UFC, he's set to debut soon against Robbie Lawler, Mr. Ben Askren. If Khabib moves to 170, how would you see that going? What do you think? Obviously, Ben coming from the American style, Khabib Dagestani.
I think Khabib win by split decision.
Yeah.
I think because the mentally is different. Ben Askren is different mentally. You know, whereas Khabib have, you know when people don't believe Khabib had about 200 amateur fights. I know this. It's true.
Yeah.
It's 100% true. In Dagestan, they fight every weekend. You know, like IMMAF tournament, they have even more fights, like 6 fights in one day. You know, it's on the mats and like professional gloves, and sometimes one glove is like 10-year-old. You know, it's like one glove is like half empty. You know, they do crazy stuff. That's why there's a lot of injuries in Dagestan fighters. You know?
And occasionally wrestle bears. So
yeah, bears sometimes.
Have you ever wrestled any bears?
No.
You know, there's some crazy promoter out there who's now thinking, that's interesting. we could make a show out of that.
Yeah.
Have we got any more before we let Mohammed go?
No, that's it for now.
Just, I don't know if the guys have got any other questions. Just one thing I wanted to ask you. When you look in the future then, for you, maybe at that point you turn pro, what's your ultimate ambition? Is it to be a title holder in the UFC? What's your aspirations going forward?
I want to be UFC champion, you know. I'm gonna go for it 100%. I'm gonna go. It's my goal from since I started MMA. It's UFC belt, and when I take UFC belt, I defend and then never come back to this game. You know, it's crazy this game. You know, I never let my kids, you know, in the future come to this game studying. I think I pay for them everything. You know, studying. I think it's.
Very, very, very smart way to approach it, I would say. I'll just quickly get your opinion. Obviously, we saw the current bantamweight champion sucking himself down to 125 to compete against Henry Cejudo. TJ, can you give me your thoughts on that fight, and what did you think?
Oh, I thought TJ collapsed in like just collapsed in the fight. He didn't look recovered, nothing. But when the Cejudo go to 135, he will lose. He will lose. It's different level, you know. Maybe split decision he'll lose, you know. But Cejudo is good mentally too, because he competed Olympic level. He's Olympic gold medalist, and when you're competing in Olympic level wrestling, it's like IMMAF, for example. You know, it's a tournament. When it's tournament, it's the most tournament people don't win because they're good. I think it's mentality. Sometimes people win and they think, wow, this guy, the other, you know, from other bracket, he won as well, and he's so good, you know, that people, you know, have the losing mind, and then they lost, you know. Yeah. And you know, actually on Friday, no, on Thursday, after I beat Mexican guy and I know I'll go to final, on Friday I was tired, you know, I was crazy, and I messaged my friend and he said, listen, your opponent tired as well, you know, the Japanese guy. So this like go 50-50, then you have to use mentality as well.
It's your mentality is such a big part of mixed martial arts and combat sports in general. Having a strong mind definitely helps.
Yeah, no, if your heart not there and mentally not ready, no punch bags, no super gym's gonna help you. Nothing gonna help you. You know?
Absolutely. So yeah, that's all from me. I don't know if any of the other guys have got anything else you'd like to ask you before we let you go.
No, just best of luck for the future. I'm really
Thank you.
excited to carry on watching you fight.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good to speak to you.
And nothing for me either, but thanks for your time, Mo. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today.
I can give shout out to my sponsors, yeah?
Yeah,
Please
absolutely. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, you know, Twins is big brand in UK. Maybe you know it's they're selling in food. I selling is big brand. They're supporting me. Yesterday I've got a sponsorship offer from Bosso Body Bar, the healthy place in city of in Manchester Centre. Good restaurant and healthy meals. They provide with meals every day, and the Pitbull West Coast with Fightwear and Save Joe's, Nutrition King. You know, these guys all supporting me towards Bahrain. They supported me well, and I think with this team, loyal team, we're gonna go all the way together.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we very much appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing what the future has to you. I'm sure you have a bright future ahead of you. And please, the next time you're booked and you've got a fight, come back on with MMA UK. We'd love to have a chat with you again.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. Yeah.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo.
All the best.
Bye.
Bye.